Hey you guys. Hi. So I am sitting in our new homeschool room and I'm so excited about this, not because we have a new room in our house, but because I switched our entire house around to have a homeschool room downstairs where we'd have better access to the kitchen and I could do homeschool while the other kids are sleeping in their bedrooms, where our old homeschool room was right outside their bedrooms in kind of a common area, and I was afraid that it would keep the littler kids awake when we're trying to do school if we kept it there. And with this crazy little girl getting into everything all the time, I figured that we might have to do a lot of our school while she's napping. So I am really proud of this homeschool room. Honestly, I put it together with things that we already had. I didn't buy anything new for this room, but it just was a lot of work. So we have two master bedrooms in our house, one downstairs, one upstairs, and I'm sitting in the one downstairs right now. And this is where my husband and I's bedroom was. And there's only one bedroom downstairs, so we were away from all of our kids at night, which was causing problems also, with my 2-year-old getting really scared and everything. So I decided that for multiple reasons, I was going to take it upon myself to move our bedroom to the master bedroom upstairs. Well, that meant moving my daughter's room, who was using the master bedroom upstairs, to another room, and the stuff in that room to another room. So it turns out I moved every single bedroom around, with the exception of one in our house, by myself, might I add, with very little help from my husband. The only thing that he did, because of course he works and everything, he's at work all day, was he helped me move the heavy furniture, and that was about it. And my kids helped a little bit here and there, taking a few things, but it was a lot of work. It was like 3 or 4 full days of sweating work. I did like almost 20,000 steps one of those days that I was moving stuff around. So, but it has been so worth it. We started school yesterday, and so today was our second day using this room, and it has just worked out beautifully to have all of our stuff in one room, which the room we were using before did not have room for all of our stuff, so we were kind of having things scattered throughout the house, and it just wasn't working out for us. So this has worked out way better. I know there's probably homeschool families out there that they have the money to go purchase like awesome desks for their kids and just different things like that. But I am using fold-up tables that we already had, that we had purchased before we even moved here for yard sales, but we kept them, thankfully, and they've worked out really good for our homeschool desks. We have one on this side of the room, one on this side of the room. I have 5 kids, so the 2 younger ones can sit here and play with Play-Doh or whatever while we're trying to do school. I also have like their train table right here that keeps them a little bit busy. And then we have Harper sits here, Aurora sits here, and Aislinn sits here. Aislinn's in preschool, Aurora is in 3rd grade, and Harper is in 2nd grade. However, I know a lot of people that homeschool that, they don't go by grades. I feel like my kids are pretty much on grade level, so to me that kind of just helps me decipher what kind of curriculums to use and stuff like that, so we do use grade levels. Here I have just an organizer thing, which isn't very organized honestly, but that I already had, and I just put puzzles and books and stuff for the littler kids who aren't doing school. They can come grab something out of here and just kind of keep busy with it, and it has helped. When my older kids get done doing their schoolwork and the other people are still working on their work, they can come grab something to do. We have our whiteboard with our schedule, and then a bookshelf that I already had, that I actually got for free. I just have some teaching books on the bottom that I can use with the kids, and then the top shelf is our class library, which I'm requiring my kids to read for 20 minutes a day alone on their own time. And they have to pick one of the books out of the class library because they are books that they can learn a lot from. Then I just have some random things on top, which isn't very organized yet either, but I have pencils and envelopes and thank you cards because we're going to do a lot of thank you cards for school this year, and sticky notes and notebooks. I have a thing over here that wasn't getting used for anything else, so my kids are going to turn their homework in there. This pin board that we already had, as you can see, we're using Matthew C this year, and I just made up these things that it tells you to make up for the decimal system. So that's what that is. And then my two younger kids painted today, so that's their paintings while we were doing other school. On this wall I'm going to have a science vocabulary words. As we go along we'll be hanging up new science vocabulary words, so it's kind of blank, left blank for that reason. And this room actually has two walk-in closets, a smaller one and a bigger one. The smaller one is nothing to do with school. We have preparedness stuff in there, and honestly I wasn't planning on even opening this, so it's not very organized, but we have like our preparedness backpacks, some ammo, guns, stuff like that, safes, and we can lock not only the ammo case and the gun case, but we can also lock that door, so it's kind of doubly locked. But in here I'm going to be using this as well for much of my homeschool stuff. It also has some other stuff in here, but I have like my laminator, which I just recently bought, a pretty cheap laminator, a Scotch brand. I think it cost me like 40 bucks, and it came with some laminating sheets, and I've used it a ton, so I'm glad I got it. I have some games, some more things the kids can do if they get bored, and then we have like crayons and colored pencils and paper and glue and all that fun stuff up there. So it has worked out really well to have it down here. And see, like I say, she gets into everything. My treadmill is still down here and TV, but we've been using the TV for Matthew C, so that's worked out pretty good. We are doing the Good and the Beautiful curriculums this year, so we've been using their literature curriculums at the different levels that my kids are at, so each of them has their own. And then we also have history. They also have a history curriculum and a science curriculum, which last year was our first year homeschooling. And so we, I didn't even really know about the Good and the Beautiful last year, but an LDS lady, Christian lady, wrote this curriculum, and so it is based around like the things that we believe in. You can hear the thunder, it's thundering outside. But anyway, we have loved it. So it took some prep work, I'll be quite honest. The science curriculums especially was some prep work of cutting out, and I decided to laminate them because I want them to last, and my kids don't take very good care of stuff sometimes, so I did a lot of, probably I would say 3 good full days, which was spread out for more than 3 days, but I would say it was 3 full days of prep work for those curriculums, cutting out phonics cards and stuff like that, and just going through and figuring out what exactly I need to know and to do as a teacher before starting. So we have just, my kids are really liking it so far. We're kind of excited about it. And I have all those curriculums. I haven't figured out exactly what to do with them yet, so I have them in here, but this is a preschool packet for Aislinn, which is teaching her letters and what the sounds are and all of that.
Mommy,
and then
spider.
Yep, and then the games that come with the preschool packet. And then I have Aurora's 3rd grade packet, which was missing one of the readers, so I guess those are back ordered. But it has phonics cards, it has a reader, it has a course curriculum guide and then also her curriculum. So, and this has 120 lessons in it. And we are only going to do literature like 4 times a week, so that'll be perfect. And then I've got Harper's 2nd grade curriculum, which, let me just tell you this as well. I went by what the website, the Good and the Beautiful website, said to do. And originally, I had them take the tests to see what grade level they would be at. And it said that my 2nd grader would actually be at the kindergarten level. And so I originally bought her the kindergarten level, which their levels aren't right on target with like grade level. They're higher, they're harder. But I originally was listening to that and I bought her the kindergarten and I was thinking, man, I don't want to put her back 2 grades. She is smarter than that. She's a very good reader. She was just having a little hard time with the spelling. But when I got the 2nd grade packet, which was what Aurora tested into, and she's supposed to be in 3rd grade, I realized that easily my daughter Harper, who is supposed to be in 2nd grade this year, could easily do it. So I decided I would use the kindergarten packet next year for Aislinn, and I went ahead and purchased a 3rd grade, and I'm putting Harper on the 2nd grade and Aurora on the 3rd grade. So far they have been on target with doing those. They haven't had a hard time with them at all. Each of those curriculums has to have readers that go along with it. I got these, no, that's my planner here, my homeschool planner, which I follow the lady on a Farmhouse Full, and she had this free planner. It was from last year, but I went ahead and changed the dates and it works out perfect for this year. And then I purchased the space science curriculum. I purchased 2 science curriculums. The space science, and I went ahead and put it in a binder. It doesn't come in a binder like this. It comes with just the pages, and you have to go through and cut out everything and, you know, prepare everything ahead of time. This curriculum took a lot of prep work. However, I am so excited about it because my kids like science, but I'm not very good at science. So I didn't know quite what to do last year for science, and they were kind of bored. And they're not going to be this year. I also purchased the Introduction to Energy Science curriculum. And we're going to do the space science first and then work into this. And we are only going to be doing science once a week, but there are a lot of different projects and just different things that are going to make it really fun. Science experiments that it has you do, those are just going to be super fun. And then I purchased the history curriculum, which we used yesterday. We're only going to do history once a week as well. But this curriculum was awesome. We yesterday got an introduction to mythology, and my kids just loved it. And it goes along with Christian beliefs. So it not only tells you about these mythology gods, but it also tells you about, you know, compares it to the real God, the one and only God. And so it gives you a very good contrast to, but it also helps you to know what other people may believe, and it's just really awesome. This actually is the math curriculum we are using this year, which is Math UC. And we have never used this before, so we should have started at the first, but it was just way too young for what my kids are at. Even this was probably a little too young for Aurora. We used it for the first time today, and we are only going to be doing math like 2 or 3 times a week. So Math UC is kind of a different take on math. Basically, most kids know what different things that they need to do for math. They know how to add, they know how to subtract, they know how to divide, they know how to multiply, but they don't know when to apply those. And so this curriculum is different in that it teaches children when to apply those different things in their life, or in their worksheets and all of that. And so I think it's going to be a good thing, but it's a little hard for me to get used to because it isn't the way that I learned math, but neither is the Common Core math that public schools use. And so I was having a hard time when my kids were in public school helping them do their homework then. So what's cool about this curriculum is that the guy who wrote the curriculum, actually each level, each unit has a video that comes with it, and he actually goes through and teaches every lesson. So I just put on a video. My kids were able to listen to the lesson. We went over it a little bit more, and then they did their test on it, and it was awesome. So, and this is just where I'm having them turn in their math worksheets, or once they're done, I'm putting them in there. So anyway, that's kind of what we're doing this year. We also, of course, incorporate scripture study. Last year we tried to use some of the different like family home evening packets to do more child-oriented scripture study. This year we are actually using the Book of Mormon, straight out of the Book of Mormon. And I'm doing scripture study first thing in the morning. We do it about 6:45. So, and then we have family prayer. So it's not really during our school time. But, you know, it's still incorporated into our day, and it works well. So we have so far had a lot of luck with it. And anybody out there that is considering homeschooling, but, you know, you think, I'm not a teacher, I don't have a degree in that, or even if you do and you just don't think that you could do it, I promise you that with much prayer, see, you know, what would be the right situation for your family. I promise you that if I can do it, anybody can. I don't have good health. A lot of times I don't feel good. I've literally had a migraine for a week straight that even ibuprofen will take it away for a couple hours and then it's right back. I'm tired a lot. I don't feel good in general most of the time. I have Hashimoto's, and I also have factor V Leiden, and I have some hormonal issues. I have hypothyroidism, so I don't feel good a lot. If I can get through that and get past that and still manage to homeschool, I know a lot of moms out there that could be better at it than me, for sure. But if you're considering doing it, I would highly recommend looking into The Good and the Beautiful. Jenny Phillips. It's thegoodandthebeautiful.com, I believe, or if you just Google The Good and the Beautiful. And just the name of the curriculum alone made me intrigued by it. So if you look into it, they have science, they have history, they have literature, they have like a writing program, I believe, and it's, for what you get, it is not expensive. I think I spent for the preschool, the 3rd grade, the 2nd grade, the 2 science curriculums, and the history, I think it was about $300. And that's for a full year of school, you guys. So, I mean, that's just not a ton of money to spend for, you know, a good, very good curriculum. And it tells the parent word for word what to say when they're teaching. Because I don't have a teaching degree. I don't know, you know, what order things need to be taught in and all of that, but it'll literally walk you through it. Like I say, there's some prep work involved, there's some going through, it'll tell you as the teacher or the parent, you know, what things you need to do in order to prepare, what extra things you might need for the curriculum. It is awesome. I can't say enough good things about it. My kids in 2 days are like loving homeschool about 100 times more than they were last year without the curriculum. I mean, it's getting them excited to learn and excited for school. And I just hope that, you know, if I can touch one person out there and help them, you know, decide to homeschool their kids, because I truly believe that that is the way God intended it. I know not everybody's going to agree with me on that, but I truly believe that God intended for moms to be at home with their kids, teaching them and not just sending them away to someone else for pretty much an entire day, because that's let's get real, that kids are gone almost all day when they go to public school. And I don't want to be that mom who, you know, my last kid is 18 moving out and I'm wishing that I would have spent more time with them. I literally spend all day every day with my kids, and I am learning, as you can see, I'm learning patience, I'm learning right along with my kids so many good things. And I just think it's so good. So if I could touch one mom out there, one dad out there, help them be interested and intrigued and looking into homeschooling, Chloe, let's be nice, I would have done my job. And I hope that you guys will pray about your decisions, and I will see you next time. Bye.